Lego fans, Star Wars fans, welcome to another episode of Lobricks. For those of you just joining us, and I say this every week, this is the YouTube video series where we are building a Lego Star Wars Tatooine diorama on an old barf-ridden ping pong table. So before we get started, as always, please hit like, please subscribe if you really like it, and as always, give us your comments and feedback. And also, if you want to send us an email, I read the emails on air. If you have any ideas or criticism, we love it all. Here's the email address below. Shoot us an email, shoot us a line. Love to hear from you. So, in this week's episode, we are going to move from Mos Eisley back to the Dune Sea. And this is something I've wanted to do for a while, which is build the fossil. And have a look at the picture of C-3PO walking across the desert shortly before he gets picked up by the sandcrawler. And the giant, which is called a Krayt Dragon, apparently, and it's kind of a snake-looking fossil in the Dune Sea. So I actually built one of those, and I did do a speed build of it, so you can watch me create it. It is kind of done from scratch. I did use a Lego dinosaur set, a fossil set, which I'll be showing you in a few minutes before I get to the speed build, so you know kind of what my inspiration was. And also, before we get to that, I'm going to show you, I had to build a second dune in the Dune Sea so we could lay this old beast across it. So let's start and see the speed build of the second sand dune. Boy, nothing says excitement more than building a sand dune out of Legos, I'll tell you. Boy. Anyways, so let's get to the fossil. First, a little bit about where this thing came from, at least in Star Wars canon, and then I'm going to show you the speed build of it, and finally put it on the board. So here is the Krayt Dragon. So the Krayt Dragon, which were spelled Krayt, were large carnivorous reptiles that lived on Tatooine. And there's basically two subspecies of these. There's the Canyon Krayt Dragon and the Greater Krayt Dragon. The Greater Krayt Dragon is the fossil you see out in the Dune Sea with C-3PO. And apparently they were hunted for precious pearls found in their bodies. And they were huge, and because of their large size, they were the apex predators of Tatooine, and I guess they posed a pretty serious threat to the Jawas, and actually even the Tusken Raiders, the Sand People, were afraid of them. So one thing I didn't realize was I had always thought they were like dinosaurs. They were far in the past because all you ever see is that giant skeleton. But apparently as soon as Phantom Menace, there were still Krayt Dragons on Tatooine, so that's interesting. So now let's talk about what I used to build them. And the primary source that I did was a Lego set that was known as Lego Ideas, set number 21320. And basically it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a Triceratops fossil build. And there were some particular pieces of this that I used. The first one was the tail section of the Tyrannosaurus Rex that I used. And here's a couple pictures that I used to build the body of the fossil. And then the head of the Tyrannosaurus Rex has very narrow eyes, and these had big dome kind of eyes, or at least the cranium had a big dome in it. So I used the head of the Tyrannosaurus Rex slightly modified. So let's watch the speed build of the Krayt Dragon. All right, so the last thing we need to do is put it on the board. So I'm trying to recreate it as close as I can to that scene with C-3PO walking near the sand dunes saying, "I'm doomed." And so let's see how close I can get it. All right, so here is the Krayt Dragon on the sand dunes. And a piece of feedback I got from GM Productions and Twin Bricks, which I really appreciate, was the corners were a little too square. So I tried to round them out a little bit. Might still have to do a little more work on them, but here's to show you that I'm definitely taking your feedback to heart. And my long-term intent is to take this to Brick World, this entire MOC. So don't know what the requirements are. Probably have to do a video on that at some point, but I really appreciate the feedback for you guys making this better. So let's do a little fly around here. You can kind of see him in all his glory, all his dead bones glory. And then from the back side. And I guess we'll finish up on C-3PO there. A little piece of blue something. All right. The fossil is on the board. All right, well that does it for this week on Lobricks. As always, please like, please subscribe, please check out my assistance video, which launches every Friday. It's going to be no exception this week. And as always, check us out here each Wednesday. We launch at midnight, usually Tuesday night. And I will see you next week. Have a great week. Bye.